This is Sparta!
The year was 480 BC, and the ancient world stood on the brink of a monumental conflict. The vast Persian Empire, the most powerful civilization of the time, was led by King Xerxes I, who sought to extend his empire's reach and bring all of Greece under Persian dominion. His father, Darius I, had tried and failed to conquer the Greek city-states at the Battle of Marathon a decade earlier. And now Xerxes was determined to avenge that loss and complete what his father could not. His forces numbered in the hundreds of thousands by some estimates, up to 1 million soldiers. Against this massive army, a coalition of Greek city-states, led by Sparta, would make their stand at the narrow pass of Thermopylae, in what would become one of the most legendary last stands in history. Xerxes had prepared for years, constructing a bridge of boats across the Hellespont, modern-day Dardanelles, to allow his vast army to cross into Europe. His army was a diverse force made up of troops from all corners of the Persian Empire, archers from the east, cavalry from Central Asia, and infantry from Persia itself. The Persian navy, consisting of over 1,200 ships, sailed alongside the army, ensuring logistical support for the invasion. The invasion was not merely a military campaign, but a statement of Persian superiority, designed to crush the Greek resistance and bring their lands into Xerxes' growing empire. The Greek city-states, known for their independence and frequent conflicts with one another, were initially slow to respond to the looming Persian threat. But as Xerxes' forces moved closer, they realized that if they did not unite, they would be destroyed. Athens and Sparta, the two most powerful city-states, took the lead. Athens, with its formidable navy, would challenge the Persian fleet, while Sparta, renowned for its disciplined warriors, would lead the land forces. Sparta, under its strict militaristic society, had trained its warriors from a young age in the art of war. Spartan boys were taken from their families at age 7 to live in military barracks, where they were subjected to harsh training, discipline, and deprivation. This system, known as the agoge, was designed to mold them into fearless soldiers, able to endure pain and hardship without complaint. By the time they reached adulthood, Spartan men were some of the most fearsome warriors in the ancient world. King Leonidas, the leader of the Spartans at Thermopylae, had been through this same rigorous training, and he knew that the odds were stacked against them. But as a Spartan, surrender was never an option. The strategic importance of Thermopylae, a narrow pass between the mountains and the sea, could not be overstated. At its narrowest point, the pass was only about 15 meters wide, creating a natural bottleneck where the vast numbers of the Persian army would be of little advantage. Leonidas understood this perfectly. He knew that if the Greeks could hold this pass, they could delay the Persians long enough for the rest of Greece to prepare for the invasion. The narrowness of the pass also meant that the Persians would be forced to fight in close quarters, negating the advantage of their cavalry and archers. Leonidas, accompanied by 300 of his best Spartan warriors, set out for Thermopylae. The number 300 is iconic, but in truth, Leonidas commanded a much larger force at the outset, around 7,000 Greeks from various city-states, including Thespians, Thebians, and Phocians. But it was the Spartans who would become the symbol of the battle, their unmatched discipline and combat prowess making them the backbone of the defense. Xerxes, confident in the superiority of his forces, expected a swift victory. He sent envoys to the Greeks, demanding their surrender. One such demand was that the Greeks lay down their arms. Leonidas' legendary reply, "Molon Labe, come and take them," has echoed through history as a defiant stand against tyranny. This phrase encapsulated the Spartan mindset. They would fight to the death rather than submit to an oppressor. The first day of battle saw wave after wave of Persian soldiers crashing against the Greek defenses. Xerxes sent his infantry, expecting them to overwhelm the smaller Greek force. But the Greeks, led by the Spartans, fought with unyielding ferocity, using their signature phalanx formation, a dense wall of shields and spears. The Greeks held the line. The Persians, unaccustomed to such disciplined resistance, were repeatedly pushed back with heavy losses. The narrow pass prevented them from bringing their superior numbers to bear, and the Spartans, with their long spears and heavy armor, were able to inflict devastating casualties. Xerxes, enraged at the failure of his infantry, sent in his elite force, the Immortals, a unit of 10,000 of his best soldiers. These troops were the pride of the Persian army, named for their seemingly endless numbers. Whenever one was killed, another would immediately take his place. But even the Immortals could not break the Spartan-led phalanx. The battle raged on, with the Greeks continuing to hold their ground. By the end of the first day, the Persians had made no headway, and their losses were staggering. On the second day, the Persians tried again with the same result. But the Greeks, fighting with unmatched determination, continued to repel every attack. It seemed as if Leonidas and his men might be able to hold the pass indefinitely. But fate took a dark turn. A Greek trader named Ephialtes approached Xerxes and revealed the existence of a hidden mountain path that bypassed the main Greek defenses. This path, which wound through the mountains and led behind the Greek position, would allow the Persians to flank the defenders. Xerxes seized the opportunity and sent a detachment of his forces along the path under the cover of night. As dawn broke on the third day, Leonidas learned that the Persians had outflanked them. Realizing that the battle was lost, he made the decision to send most of the Greek forces away, saving them for future battles. He and his 300 Spartans, along with 700 Thespians and 400 Thebans, chose to remain, knowing they would not survive. They would fight to the last man, buying precious time for the rest of Greece to organize its defenses. The final stand of Leonidas and his men is the stuff of legend. They fought with a ferocity born of desperation, knowing that their deaths would be remembered for eternity. As their weapons broke, they fought with their hands and teeth. According to ancient accounts, Leonidas himself was killed early in the final day's fighting, but the Spartans fought on, surrounding his body to prevent the Persians from taking it. Xerxes, furious at the resistance, ordered his archers to fire a volley of arrows, blotting out the sun and killing the last of the Spartans. In the aftermath, Xerxes had Leonidas' body decapitated and crucified, an act of desecration meant to demoralize the Greeks. But instead of breaking their spirit, the sacrifice at Thermopylae galvanized them. News of the stand spread quickly, inspiring the city-states to unite in their defense against the invaders. Thermopylae was a tactical defeat, but a strategic victory for the Greeks. The stand of the 300 Spartans and their allies delayed the Persians long enough for the Greek navy to regroup and achieve a decisive victory at the Battle of Salamis. In the months that followed, the Persian army suffered further defeats at Plataea, and Xerxes was forced to retreat back to Asia, his dream of conquering Greece shattered. The legacy of Thermopylae endures to this day. It is a story of unimaginable courage and sacrifice, a testament to the power of unity and the strength of the human spirit. The Spartans, through their selfless stand, became immortalized in the annals of history, their valor and defiance inspiring generations to come. The message of Thermopylae is clear even in the face of overwhelming odds. Even when defeat is certain, there is honor in standing your ground and fighting for what you believe in. The story of Thermopylae is not just about warriors and battles, it is about the struggle for freedom, the cost of resistance, and the enduring power of courage in the face of tyranny. It reminds us that sometimes the greatest victories are not those won on the battlefield, but those that are fought within the heart. In the memory of the fallen Spartans, the flame of resistance continues to burn bright, a symbol of hope for all who stand against oppression.